It's been just 7 days since the horrific mass shooting at an Allen, Texas outlet mall. While that community remains in mourning, authorities are in the process of nailing down the shooter's motive. The New York Times reports investigators trying to learn why a gunman murdered at least 8 innocent people, including children, at a Texas mall, are examining a social media profile rife with hate-filled rants against women and black people, and they believe those belonged to the gunman. The shooter's profile also includes language praising Hitler, with references to neo-Nazi websites like the Daily Stormer. The shooter's Hispanic heritage would include him in the growing number of non-white extremists pushing a white supremacist ideology. Joining me now is Christopher Goldsmith, intelligence, extremism, and disinformation analyst and the CEO of Task Force Butler. Chris, it's always so good to have you on the show. Sadly, though, it's usually around some type of mass shooting or some type of tragic event. But I think your voice is important for our viewers to really get some knowledge as to what's going on. You've infiltrated some far-right extremist groups yourself. You know their thought process in trying to lure in more people to spout off their disgusting rhetoric. There is a misconception that all white nationalists have to be white. But let's look at Hispanic white nationalists like Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio and online political activist Nick Fuentes. What have you seen in regards to non-white people becoming advocates for white supremacist ideas?
Thanks so much for having me, Katie, on. Having me on, Katie. It's great to be back. The Latino identity, the Hispanic identity, the Latinx identity is incredibly complex. It is not exclusively a race. It is not exclusively an ethnicity. It creates a lot of room for extremist views like white supremacy. One of the phenomena that we've seen over especially recent years is misinformation, disinformation, and radical narratives being pushed into Spanish-speaking communities. Now, this is something that can have effects far down the stream. Now, this particular guy, this disgusting shooter in Texas, he's someone who acknowledged his Latino identity, and he expressed on his social media displeasure at not being traditionally considered white by his peers. But he's someone who embraced extremism because he was basically a loser. That was his way to find a sense of community. That was his way of finding purpose. And now that type of extremism is being promoted by folks like Enrique Tarrio, like you mentioned, like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes only became famous because he participated in the neo-Nazi Charlottesville riot and then dropped out of school because he was too much of a coward to face his classmates back in Boston. That's the only reason anyone knows his name. It's the only reason that he was able to create a platform. Now he makes money from racists around the country, actually around the world, who've found him to be a useful idiot for white supremacy.
You know, Chris, the misinformation, you just mentioned it, it plays a major rise and a major role in that rise of white nationalism. According to a Nielsen report, Latino audiences are more likely to receive, consume, and share fake news and misinformation online compared to the general population. And in fact, the Daily Stormer, which the shooter in Allen, Texas, he was an avid consumer of that website. They actually launched a Spanish language version of that neo-Nazi website in 2017. Do you find that there is a direct correlation between the consumption of misinformation and white supremacy?
I used to be a misinformation and disinformation analyst. That's what I came from. I used to work for Vietnam Veterans American. What made me an investigator of any kind was back in 2017, I found a fake version of my employer online on Facebook that had 500,000 followers. Long story short, that ended up being a Russian intelligence operation. I published what's called the Troll Report back in 2019. I moved away from studying Russian trolls and into domestic extremism because I think the threat that misinformation and disinformation poses, while severe, is not as immediate as the extremism that it has caused. Now, when it comes to targeting the veterans community, the Hispanic community, the Black community, these foreign actors and domestic actors recognize that these identities that are core to who we are in our human psychology can be leveraged to turn us against others. Doesn't matter who you are. If someone is trying to manipulate you, they are going to target who you consider yourself to be, what your values are. They will try and shift those values and then present enemies, the other, as someone to be attacked, someone to be blamed. I mean, look at Tucker Carlson, right? That is his entire shtick. That's why he became the most popular host on Fox News before he was recently fired. It is people like that who focus on these identities and dividing people that become powerful thanks to these algorithms, right? It is the Facebook, the Twitter algorithms, all of these alternative social media platforms, they reward outrage.